So hello and welcome to this week's angling vlog. This week you join me out on the bank and we're on the float and the feeder for roach. As you can see behind me, it's a misty morning on the bank. The reservoir is just coming awake. There's one or two fish topping, and I have seen Mr. Carp just down the margin down there, so he's about as well. Hopefully he stays down there and we can get into some roach today. So this is a reservoir I have fished a few times and there is a good head of roach in it, but we're just coming out of the river season into the still waters, and you've always got to have an air of caution at this time of year. You never really know where the waters are up to. It hasn't been the coldest of winters, so I'm hoping today just to get a few bites. If we can get a few roach on the bank today, I'll be a happy man. It's one of those rare days off work, so I'm super excited to get on the seat box and make a start. So let's take a look at the side tray and how we're going to approach it. So flipping the camera around, you can see the seat box is all set up. We're all nice and comfy. There is a bit of clarity in the water and the dam wall does go down a little bit. Now I have left me box at home with me heavy wagglers in, so we're on a slightly lighter waggler today and there is a bit of a breeze on the venue. Mr. Carp was down this margin down here, so I'm hoping he's going to stay. To begin with, I'm just going to fish the float into this area here, feed hemp and maggot and corn. Just hope that some of the roach turn up. If not, we have got a feeder, and obviously we can go further out into the reservoir then. I'm hoping though to start off just to try and draw a few fish into here. So the side tray, super simple. We've got quite a bit of that hinders hemp. You never really know how sessions on here are going to go. There's a good head of roach and you can get through the hemp. So I've got plenty with me today. I've got a pint of red maggot. I'm hoping just to put that on the hook. Normally hemp is a good bait on here, and you end up just using that on the hook. And we've got some corn as well. So for getting me bigger wagglers was definitely a mistake today. We could have done with a much heavier waggler on, but we make do. The other mistake that I've kind of made is not putting a hoodie on. It is quite nippy, but I'm sure once that sun comes up it'll warm up a little bit. And so just feeding some hemp into the swimming. I'm going to be a bit positive. Obviously it's a big reservoir and you want to draw one of them roach shoals into you really. Once you draw one of the shoals in, then you can begin to think about how to catch them in that depth of water. But to begin with, we've just got a nice fall of a bait. We've only got a few number 11 shots on the line, so that bait's going to fall nice and slowly through the water. You can see now the float's settled and we should just be on bottom about there. But I'm just going to give it the first hour, just putting some bait in. If after an hour we've not had a bite, then we can look at putting some bait on a feeder line. In a few months time we'll be out there stood wading into the reservoir catching these roach. But today I thought I took the warmer option by sitting on my box. There's a bite straight away. So we've just missed a bite definitely there, which is a great sign. I know it's probably not the best that we've missed it, but to get a bite is a great sign. So it is being a bit slow on the float, so I'm just going to begin to put a couple of feederfuls of bait out on that feeder line, just out there. Just begin to put some bait out that can settle while we're still fishing the float, and then we're giving ourselves options to go over should we need to in a bit. So I'm putting probably 5 or 6 feederfuls of bait out there, just hemp and maggot and a bit of corn. So I've just fed that line out there, and like I say, on this venue you never really give up hope. Gone back on the float, just started to get 1 or 2 bites. He's fell off in the edge. It's just the way it goes sometimes, but I have had a few bites since going back on the float. A few dips and missed them, and let's say that one's fell off in the edge. But so we've got that other plan out there now on the feeder, but just starting to get a few bites now on the float. Just trying to cast out past where I'm feeding, sink as much line as possible. This wind is not ideal, it's pushing in towards me on a lighter float, so it's wanting to push the float all the time back towards me. And It's amazing what confidence a few dips of the float and a bite can give you. There you go. I say only small fish to begin with, but they do go around in shoals on here. Bigger fish do hang about with the other fish, so it's a nice little start. That's the beauty of them Vizzy Wags. The float just didn't settle that time, so lets me know there's a fish on. I say amazing how you can go from no bites to just a few fish being there. It's just now about getting into a bit of a routine. Them fish are coming quite close in, which is ideal for hitting the bites, most definitely. I'm still feeding over a bit of an area so we can go down the slope a bit. There we go. It's a slightly little bit better one. I've just been back to the car, and in the boot was my jacket from Cordham that I carry on the bank, and in it was me float box and a 2.5 gram Vizzy Wag. Now if my uncle was here now, he'd be going mad. He'd be saying you could moor a tugboat next to that float. So I'm gonna have to put a bit more weight on, but yeah, just moving up to a 2.5 gram Vizzy Wag is going to really help with the casting. That's a slightly better one now from the small ones we've been getting, and again just coming on maggot to begin with, but just feeding the odd bit of corn as well now, and dotted that float down a bit. It is amazing when you go fishing with somebody, you hear them in your mind, and I could hear my Uncle Azza dot that float down. What the hell are you fishing with? So as you just seen on that clip, we're getting plenty of bites on the float. Not much quality to them, but you can only catch what's in front of you. So while we're waiting for that tip to go round, I was out at the weekend trying to get some underwater footage. A company have sent me out an underwater camera. I've been having a bit of fun with it. Plenty of lessons learned, but I've managed to put together this little clip now. So we'll play it now, and hopefully them little taps develop into a bite. So I do hope you enjoyed that little bit of underwater filming. Back onto the peg, and the feeder is going round, but unfortunately further out there's no better quality. It is a pool that is massive, and you can only catch what's in front of you, but the tip's going round, we're getting bites, and it surely beats a day in work. So sessions like today are just as important as the days where you really bag up. They all form that part of that jigsaw at this time of year that builds that picture. The lessons that I'm learning from today is the water most definitely is awake. Them roach are on the feed. The only thing we got wrong today was our location on the pool. In the sessions to come, we'll be wading out on the reservoir behind, and I'm pretty sure we'll make contact with them better quality roach. All that remains now is for me to thank you all for the support you show the channel. Tight lines in your own fishing, and I'll catch you all next week. Tight lines.